Hey, thanks for joining us on Polk Place and from the Polk History Center. Must be time for Jayme Jamison. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Yeah? Well, ain't like I can turn you down, you know?
Are you contractually obligated to have me on the show once a month?
Yeah. I think it's a lot like a marriage license. Legally obligated.
Legally obligated.
Legally
That's okay.
obligated.
I mean, we all get along in Polk County government, especially Brian.
Exactly. So, March is coming up and spring has sprung.
It definitely has. My car is a lovely tint of greenish yellow every day. Yeah.
What is that? Is that from the Oaks?
I think so. Yeah. Because it's definitely more noticeable when I'm in Bartow than when I'm at home. I'm like, oh, I write my name on my car.
And you can tell it's worn by the lizards hitchhiking on your car.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So the most Florida thing to happen to me ever, on my way to the interview today, I'm driving and here comes a lizard down my windshield, and he stayed. He must have wanted to meet you.
Yeah. I have that effect on.
I know. He did stop to ask me what was happening in March at the History Center, though. So I got some practice in.
Okay. So what kicks everything off?
It's Women's History Month.
Okay.
Only my favorite month. I might be biased.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Women's History Month. So the first thing we'll be doing is focusing on some of the women that have made impacts in Polk County. We're working with Polk Communications to do some social media posts. Hopefully everybody got a chance to see the ones we did for Black History Month, and we're going to do the same exact thing for Women's History Month and drill down to some of the women who have had an impact in Polk County. And like, everything in me wants to tell you who they are right now, but you need to sign up. Then that would spoil us
the surprise.
You need to sign up, follow the county on Facebook at Polk County Gov FL. Got that memorized.
Look at you.
So we'll be starting with that. And then, of course, if you come to the History Center, we'll have a printed guided tour that kind of hones in on some different exhibits that feature women at the History Center.
Nice. So what else we got going on?
So we're going to have, of course, Bloomin' Arts. That's the first weekend of March in Bartow. It's a wonderful juried art festival down here in Bartow, and last year we sat in a staff meeting and said, we can't draw, but we know people who are artists, and we launched the Festival of Writing last year. So last year was the first annual Festival of Writing at the Polk County History Center, and we partnered with Southeastern University to do the same thing this year. So we'll have about 20 poems on display at the History Center that are intrinsically tied to the History Center. So it could either be about a single artifact, it could be about an entire exhibition theme, or it could just be about the county or the History Center building itself. But it's handwritten, totally new poems by these students.
No haiku though, right?
Let's see, you're getting way too deep into the creative writing curriculum. That was not a strong suit for me, creative writing. No, that's I guess why I'm in history. And then they partner with graphic design students at Southeastern University, and the graphic design students, you know, they take the mood and the words and the theme, and they make a really nice graphic backdrop that accompanies the poem. So it's so special for us because it is a relationship with one of our universities here in Polk County, and it's working with students who are at the very beginning of their career, what they're going to do. And most of them maybe had never considered museums as an option for their type of work.
That's a great venue, too.
It is, and they'll be on display all month, so even if you can't make it to Bloomin' Arts this weekend, anytime that you drop by the History Center during the month of March, you can explore the poems.
What else you got going on? Because I know it's a full month.
I know. So then we've got, you know, our regular programming. So we will have on March the 2nd, the first Saturday, you can explore the Oak Hill Cemetery with me here in Bartow. We meet at the History Center for that. Now, because it is Bloomin' Arts, you'll want to get here early. It starts at 11, but you'll want to get here by 10 because parking is always, you know, a toss-up when there's a big event going on downtown. But we meet at the History Center, and then we take a nice leisurely walk through the historic downtown district to the historic Oak Hill Cemetery. And we explore not only just some of the people that were buried there, but we go over some thematic concepts like funerary art, time periods. So one of the big ones that I cover is the medical revolution and how that impacted the type of burials in the cemetery, specifically that following the medical revolution, there were fewer child burials because of vaccinations, modern medicine, that sort of thing. So it is a wonderful experience, and it is the last time that we will be in that cemetery until October.
Because it gets entirely too warm.
Yes, and I think, valued viewer, I think that when we pick it back up in October, we're actually going to push the start time up to like 9 a.m. because it's been getting so hot in the morning, even in October, November, that I think 9 in the morning is a little more pleasant.
As you mentioned, walking through the historic district.
Yes.
I just learned something new.
Ooh, what's that?
A major movie was shot in Bartow
using
one of the houses.
So the Wilson House. I love the Wilson House. So the Wilson House is on Stanford Street. It used to be called the Stanford Inn. It's kind of cattywampus to Bartow Elementary Academy. So if you're there, you just kind of go around the corner. That house is so cool. It was the exterior backdrops for the Sultanfuss Funeral Home, Sultanfuss Funeral Home in My Girl. And so all the exterior shots were there. What's cool is in some of the exterior shots, the house across the street is visible. It's called the Gables, and the Gables is the childhood home of Governor and later Senator Spessard Holland. And it's visible in some of the background shots too. So got two houses, a 2-for-1, Brian. So
You learn something new every day.
You do. And speaking of houses,
would you like my Scooby-Doo surprise?
It's pretty good. It's you want a Scooby snack? Are you more of a Scrappy-Doo guy?
Yeah. Not that tall.
Not at all.
Like a short Great Dane.
A little Great Dane. We had a guest come to the museum about 2 weeks ago. And this is just kind of a reminder of some of the work that we do. She lives in a historic home in Bartow, and she was trying to research her historic home and was hitting all these dead ends, and it was really cool because I got to sit down with her and show her how to use some of the resources available from the county, whether it's through us or the clerk's website, which I think when people think of the clerk, they're thinking of either, oh gosh, I have a court date.
Yeah.
It's more than that. She has records and tax deeds that go back to the beginnings of Polk County where you can research land and homes and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, we discovered that one of the early mayors of Bartow lived in her home.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's just another one of the services that we offer, you know, and that just happened to be Bartow. I can do that for Lake Wales, I can do that for Dundee, Haines City, anywhere that you are in the county. We can help you with research on that.
We got about a minute left. Or anything else that we might have missed?
So, of course, Bart has his architectural tour. That is the third Saturday at 11 at the History Center. What's going to be really cool about this tour is that we just found out our plaster repair work from Hurricane Ian is imminent to start. So they had the final meeting today, and so they're going to start repairing the plaster in the historic courtroom, which is just a really cool thing because this is a specialized construction skill. We can't just call up whoever on the phone. They're going to have scaffolding in there. They're going to be repairing the ceiling and the walls where we had some water come in during Hurricane Ian. So Bart will be able to walk you through and kind of tell you about that process. And then, of course, at the end of the month, the last Saturday, the fourth Saturday of the month, Shannon is hosting her genealogy speakers series, and it's all about women ancestors. So tips and tricks for looking up your female ancestors, Brian.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we'll come back in April and do it all over again.
Yeah. I think next time when you come back, I want to pop a question on you about the historical markers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you left us last month, and you had to
did.
go do a gig. So,
I did, but historical markers are really cool. I saw a funny one at Gatorland this weekend.
Let's talk more about that next time.
All right,
okay?
no problem. Thank you.
All right, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represents our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Need more information on exhibits, events, or anything you can do to help them out? Check them out on the web, polkhistorycenter.org, or give them a call, 863-534-4386. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.